Unfortunately, no Parker Mike today. I was talking about that earlier. Unfortunate, but it's okay. We got plenty of other players. We got plenty of other Protoss players like these two right here are spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn LE. We have the Brazilian Protoss. He is red, representing Eximius Gaming. It is Fate. Without the chaos. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have the Peruvian Protoss player. He is blue, representing Root Gaming. Some know him as Marooned, but he is INFANSON. Sentimiento Latino 119's finalist, second place finalist, I should say. So INFANSON, that week, he actually had a wild run where I believe he took down Zions. I think he also took down the Zerglord as well. So INFANSON had a very, very impressive showing last Sentimiento Latino, going all the way to the ace match against Ryu in the finals. It was really a breakout performance for him, and we were giving him all this praise, talking about how, you know, how his team has been supporting him and how much he has improved over the past couple of months. And then he went into Battle of the Americas, and that is where Ryu slapped. It was like the next day, and Ryu just slapped him down hard. He's like, nah, mate. And even though in Sentimiento Latino they went all the way to Game 5, Ryu versus Marooned was a hard one-sided 2-0. I think because they faced in like the semifinals or something. So yeah, I'm curious to see how Marooned will improve as it's been a week since then, especially because, again, his style has been found out. At least in PvZ, he does go for a more ground toss style. He doesn't have too much success with sky toss, especially against players like Ryu and the Zerglord. And because of that, they were able to adapt to what he was doing. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves, because we still have a PvP, and Fate is a pretty good Protoss. Of course, he is a little bit overshadowed by Master and Shakti, the other big Protoss names in Brazil, but outside of them, you know, Fate, I think I would say, is the top 3 Brazilian Protoss. So we'll see how he does here. He was already laddering to prepare, starts off with a couple of adepts, so at the moment he's not too concerned with scouting. He does delay the natural base for as long as possible. I think what's important to note as well is that Marooned went for an economic opener. He threw down his wall here on the low ground on Blackburn, which, to be fair, is pretty standard because of the ramp. It's a little bit more defensible. Meanwhile, Fate went for the standard opener, where you go for your gateways on top of the ramp in your main base. It does mean that your natural is more exposed. It also means that typically your natural will be later, which is why he decides to go for his Stargate directly after his initial gateways. Meanwhile, we have a full wall off. The adepts do nothing across the map. It's also completely closed off as well with all these buildings. My god. So this does look like Marooned isn't going to move out, at least until he has either Blink, or I imagine he's going to be throwing down a robotics facility as well, for that War Prism. We'll see. He is poised to expand whenever he wants. Like, again, free expansion for him if he wants it. But he throws down a proxy pylon. And this is what's terrifying. This is what I love about what he's doing. Fate has to try and scout this as best he can, and he will with this Oracle. But again, Marooned, because of his opener, because of his building placements, it looks like he's going for an expand. He's going for a standard opener. But he's throwing down 2 more gateways. He's throwing down a proxy gate as well. He is going for a big 1-base push. And he's selling a story that he's going for a natural. Meanwhile, Fate will find out about this. Like, the Oracle is going to go across the map as soon as it gets through these slow zones. Oh no, is he going to wait? The wall is still a wall. It looks like, okay, he is now going out across the map. There is a shield battery though, so one Oracle isn't going to do anything. The opener is scattered as well. The adepts made it into the main base. He spots the natural. I'm sure INFANSON is smiling to himself right now. He's going to be warping in wave after wave of Stalkers across the map. The first Oracle does get here. Decent stasis ward. Actually gets 6 probes. Oh my god. More than he really should have. INFANSON messed up there. He needed to pull a little bit. He did pull, but not everything that he needed to. So that was a bit of a miscalculation from the side of INFANSON. Meanwhile, Fate, he's scouting around the map. He realized like what's going on. But look how many stalkers there are. You gotta pull the trigger. You gotta go. You gotta go, INFANSON. You gotta go. Everything's coming back home. All Army hockey. GG gets called. That's it. INFANSON takes game 1. Oh my god. Fate was going for a forge. He had no idea. The problem was that he went across the map with his Oracle, but he didn't check the natural. He didn't check. He just checked the main and then dipped out. So he 100% thought his opponent was expanding. Nothing at home. No shield batteries. Had a forge. Upgrades were on the way. Quick 1-0. My god. And that is how you PvP. It's all about misinformation, misdirection. That's why a lot of people hate it. Because it can sometimes be coin flippy. You know, if you don't scatter proxy, if you don't know 100% what your opponent is doing. And unfortunately, Fate, he didn't know. He had no idea. No idea. Now we are diving into game number 2. And we'll see where we land here, as game number 2 is going to be on Berlingrad. Oh my god. Smallest map in the map pool. Let's go. I'm watching the instant replay right now. Link was done for INFANSON. Nice timing as well. But here we go. As we spawn into game number 2 here on Berlingrad ALE. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have our Brazilian Protoss player representing Eximius Gaming, currently down in this series but not out. It is Fate. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad ALE, we have the Peruvian Protoss player. He is blue, representing Roots Gaming. It is INFANSON, aka Marooned. Oh boy. And I don't like this. Bold move. Fate decides to go for the low ground wall here. And typically you see this on maps like last season, Oxide, maps like Blackburn. What do these maps have in common? They have ramps going up to the natural. So that's why you can go for this more greedy opener, because you have the high ground vision. Typically the ramp is relatively choky as well, so you don't need that many buildings to wall off. It's much more defensible, so you can get away with this kind of opener. But Fate doing this on Berlingrad is so ballsy. It's almost, he shouldn't get away with it. It's very ambitious, We'll see if he gets away with it. We will see if he even decides to go for a natural expansion. Meanwhile, Marooned, aka INFANSON, scouts this. He throws down a pylon to delay the Nexus, if there is a Nexus, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for another one base push. Again, to try and punish this, because now, like, the tech is exposed, the cybercore is exposed. Like, if INFANSON is going to be the aggressor, Fate will have the disadvantage. The defender's disadvantage in a way. Oh, he wants to throw down the cybercore. Ooh, and he gets it. Meanwhile, Fate doesn't care. Why doesn't he care? Because he has a pylon, and he's going for a proxy Stargate. He still did pump out that initial Zealot, so he's selling the story that he wants to get rid of this, that he wants to expand, but there's a proxy out of the map, so this is going to get really dicey. We have 2 Adepts on the way here for INFANSON. Because of this SimCity, because the ramp isn't set up to wall off, these Adepts could get into the main base and deal a lot of damage, just like this Oracle. So damage is going to be done here. This is going to be scattered though. The Adepts do get spotted by this probe. We need to see a full wall. Meanwhile, Cybercore finished up. Eventually it'll be dealt with. Fate does have enough resources to throw down a Nexus. But where is the wall? There it is! Okay, he does wall off. The Adepts will not get in. Oh, and he is in the dark. Meanwhile, Void Ray? Not Oracle? Okay. Okay. Interesting choice. Interesting choice. With a Void Ray, he will be able to brute force his way up, which I think is what he wants to do, especially because he's moving out with these Stalkers. So Stalkers plus a Void Ray, he's gonna try and bust in. And what are we gonna have at home to defend? We're gonna have Stalkers, no shield battery. We have a War Prism on the way because INFANSON, he wants to be the aggressor, right? Like he wants to get across the map. We'll see how this dynamic works out here. As again, the Stalkers get spotted, they do get scouted. Void Ray, you gotta make a choice. Are you gonna come back home? Because the Stalkers, they're coming. And he does turn around. He will come back home. Without a shield battery, Void Rays aren't necessarily the best thing. Especially with all of these Stalkers. But the Void Ray could potentially snipe this War Prism. Meanwhile, the Void Ray is gonna get caught out. Oh, no response. Instead, INFANSON is a little bit too preoccupied trying to bust through the front wall. Where are the shield batteries? With 0 shield batteries, INFANSON is just gonna have his way with this. Oh my god, Stutter Step, please, puppy, please, Stutter Step! Stalkers, fight back! I guess there is prismatic alignment. Also, what? The War Prism survives. Oh my god. Crazy. I didn't think it would be possible, but it did. And with that, the aggression can continue. Oracle's coming across the map. It can deal a lot of damage. Meanwhile, again, because of the lack of stutter stepping in INFANSON, I feel like he probably could have killed another Stalker or two. These shield batteries weren't done before, but they're gonna finish up soon. Like, INFANSON is missing his window. He's gotta go now. And here we go, without prismatic alignment. Again, the Void Rays, they're not ideal. One of them gets picked up immediately. Oh my god. The War Prism just baiting the army. He baits the Stalkers forward. Ay, 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 there's only a Void Ray left. He does get the War Prism, but was it worth it? I don't think it was, mate, because the shield battery's good, but I don't know it's good. If it's not good enough. Just keep going, puppy, keep going. Get the pylon. Yo, he's gonna get it. Everything is gonna get depowered. That's all the production. There's nothing at home. There's nothing in the main. There's one Stargate. The Oracle's coming back home. Oh no, the second War Prism. Okay, we're good, we're good. Everything is now repowered here, just barely. Meanwhile, the Stalkers are having a hard time breaking through this wall. But again, with the death of this Cybercore, I think that's going to be the end of the game. Like, with 0 Stalkers being warped in, and with the reinforcement potential of Marooned, just go to town. Yeah, maybe A moving a little bit too much here. maybe a little bit too much. Maybe the focus fire is lacking a little bit here. There we go. Cybercore is finally going to go down. So now only Stalkers can be warped in defensively at home. We do have a second Void Ray, to be fair. Oh, yo, he's coming in. Where are our reinforcements? INFANSON, please. Need another warp in. He's backing off. I don't know if this is necessary. I'll be real. Oracle's gonna dip back in and get more probe kills. There was no shield battery in the main. The Oracle is gonna get damage done. It's already got 12 kills. Adept does get in though. It looks like Fate is holding. We have equal worker count, I should say. So the economic situation is pretty even. Oh no! The stasis ward got off! INFANSON, no! He had it! But he doesn't have it anymore. Again, we have the same economic situation. He does find the proxy, so he will be able to deal with this. It took him far too long to deal the damage that he needed to here on the front wall. Like, he was being very tentative with his army control, and he allowed Fate to I guess, stabilize in a way. And now, as we do see INFANSON ping his own robo, yeah, we're in a really weird scenario. INFANSON does have an observer here, so he has eyes on everything, so he knows that he doesn't have to expand. So this is a great thing for him. He can just go pure Blink Stalker from here, and I do think that he will have the advantage. Meanwhile, Fate going for a Robo. If he goes for Immortals, I want to kind of favor him a little bit. Obviously, it will come down to control. Oh god, no, the Adepts are back. Ay, ay, ay. 2, 3, 4. Only 3 workers go down for now, but like anything is something here. Especially in a mirror matchup. So obviously we do have INFANSON and he wants to go mass Blink Stalkers. Fate goes for an expansion. Bold move. We'll see if he starts Immortal production. Immortals are great defensively, especially with shield batteries. Without Immortals, I do think that he will be overwhelmed by the pure Blink Stalker. We'll see, we'll see. Obviously, the SimCity makes things awkward when it comes to pushing in. We have shield batteries. Soon we will have overcharge as well. But that Cybercore's exposed again. Go for it, puppy. The Cybercore. Okay, we got a couple of sentries. There we go. How good are the force fields going to be? Blink isn't done yet. But when he can't back up too much, the Warp Prism. It will barely escape once again. Blink is still on the way. Unfortunately, no chrono on it now. Arguably, not needed. As INFANSON does back off. Finally, detection has been dealt with, and we're getting into the mid game. There we go. Immortals on the way. Fate, he's securing himself here, and INFANSON has to back off and kind of catch up, right? What else do we need to see from here? Blink is done. We need to see charge, potentially. We need to see a forge for +1. That's probably the biggest thing. As well as just continued like, worker production. Ooh, Adept gets in again. Only 1 though, so it shouldn't deal too much. He does scout the Immortal. That's a pretty big scout, to be honest. Oh, decent force field. Another Stalker gets picked up. Ay, ay, ay. And yeah, things have just chilled out. There's that forge we were talking about. So +1 will eventually be on the way. I feel like, depending on how this goes, as Void Ray gets picked off, nicely done. I do feel like INFANSON needs to take a faster third base. Like he has map control right now. Like Fate is not pushing out anytime soon. So take advantage of that, right? There we go. Great minds, they kind of think alike. I say kind of. Third base is going to be really nice, but Fate is looking to push out. He has a Warp Prism on the way. Oh no, he blinks into the main base. Sure, he gets a Void Ray, but he's gonna get out. Oh god. Okay, doesn't lose anything. But again, with that Warp Prism, this is gonna hit so hard. Sure, he doesn't have Blink. Sure, but he's got Sentries, he's got Force Fields, he's got Immortals, 2 of them. We need Warp. There's no shield batteries. We need shield batteries, puppy. Oh god. Fate, he's pushing out. Doesn't even care. He's got his Immortals. Who cares about the third base? We have a shield battery at the third. Mate, you can afford to lose the third. It doesn't matter. You need your natural. Oh god. Decent force field. I didn't even realize this was mined out. Oh my god. Oh, but it looks like the fight will happen at the third regardless. Shield battery is almost done. Warp Prism does get taken out, so that will reduce the micro potential for INFANSON. But the force field's actually working a little bit against Fate here as the Immortal gets picked off. I say 1, the second will get picked off as well. And with the death of the Immortals, that is it. That is all that Fate had left. Unfortunately, the Warp Prism wasn't with the main army. He couldn't save and micro his Immortals. It was just his ground army against Blink Stalkers, and GG gets called, and INFANSON will still take the series 2-0. Oh my god. PvPs, man, they're too much. They're too much. GG, well played. Congratulations, INFANSON. He will take down Fate 2-0, which is honestly a pretty big name for him to take down. And he will now move on to face the cranky duckling himself, the Street Fighter, El Condor. He will go up against Ryu. Oh my god. Not Ryung. The autocorrect me. Not quite Ryung, unfortunately.